sparring with each other.
Imagine that you've gone out for a walk or a run as it's getting dark. As the light grows dim, suddenly you jump, startled. You've almost been run down by a bike, car, or another runner. Why? Because they can't see you in the dark. Now, let's just put out something simple, like a flashlight. Now you can be seen, but what about all the other people that are out there, the unlit pedestrians? According to the website Very Well Fit, if you like running, walking, cycling, or any other activity at night or in low light conditions, the most important rule is to be seen. Anyone who travels by foot or bicycle between dusk and dawn should be very well lit. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, says that 26% of pedestrian fatalities occur between 6 and 9 p.m. As well, the South Carolina Department of Transportation tells us that we are the third worst in the United States for fatalities. We've come up from 6th in 2014. The solution to preventing pedestrian fatalities and injuries is threefold. First, let's educate residents and visitors on how to improve their safety when out in the dark by emphasizing the importance of being seen. Second, use common sense. And third, continue to press our representatives to implement the South Carolina Department of Transportation 2040 plan for improved safety. Because in today's busy environment, drivers are distracted, looking at everything but pedestrians. They're looking at their phones, texting, zoned out, at dim light, and the headlights coming towards you, and they don't see you. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety states that 73% of pedestrian fatalities occur in urban areas. These findings correlate with an issue that is close to home, the student pedestrian fatalities at Coastal Carolina University. According to News Channel 9, in September 2013, another Coastal Carolina student was hit and killed on 544, 18-year-old Elizabeth Gorchak. In October 2016, News 15 reported that Coastal Carolina student 19-year-old Rylan Bella was hit and killed while crossing South Carolina 544 near the Monarch Apartments. And then this very year, Kaylee Larimore, reporting for the Chandelier, wrote on August 20th that a woman had been hit while crossing South Carolina 544. Anyone who has been on 544 knows that there is 4 lanes of fast-moving traffic that borders Coastal Carolina, with students constantly crossing the street. Mostly they are going to wait at the light, but typically they're in the middle of the road. Similar to yesterday, as I'm driving down 544, here's a student standing in the middle, wearing dark clothing, headphones, and carrying a backpack. There's no safety there, and had it been dark, I wouldn't have seen him. The Sun News wrote that as a result of the student fatalities, an ad hoc committee was created by President David DeCenzio of Coastal Carolina to address the issue of student safety when crossing 544. Possible solutions included better lighting, more crosswalks, lowering the speed limit from 40 to 30, and a pedestrian overpass. A poll on Chandelier's Twitter asked, in less than a year, 2 people have been hit on 544 near the university, 1 fatally. Do you think a pedestrian bridge should be installed? 92% said yes, and 8% said it wouldn't help. After much discussion, a barrier wall in the middle of 544 has been proposed. Mike Wooden, the president of DCC Engineers and the former chair of South Carolina Transportation Commission, says the barrier is the best option because it is by far the best alternative, because it is the one that will be used. It's going to force pedestrians to cross at the intersection. Though they can't act immediately at Coastal Carolina because they're asking South Carolina, Horry County, and the Department of Transportation for assistance in covering the $1.1 million that it's going to cost to build the barrier wall. Apparently, none of the $32 million that was approved for the expansion of Brooks Stadium was earmarked for improvements on 544, and due to bureaucracy involved, no timeline has been set for the installation of the barrier wall. So perhaps the next step would be a public safety campaign promoting common sense safety measures that improves one's chances of being seen in the dark, similar to the seatbelt law, click it or ticket. Very Well Fit states walking or running after dark is not the same as in daylight. Pedestrians need to observe 3 simple rules. 1, use the sidewalks and the off-road paths rather than walking in the street. 2, walk facing the traffic and so you can see and react to the vehicles. 3, use extra caution when crossing streets. Drivers do not expect pedestrians to be out walking at night. I don't know that anyone can see the person in the middle. Next slide. Don White, owner of Black Dog Running Company here in Market Commons, says the best way to illuminate is to look like a person, reflecting strips on one's arms, legs, feet, and head. They stock many of these illuminating devices and insist all participants in their weekly Black Dog evening runs carry or wear some type of light. Websites Run or Click and Very Well Fit offer safety reviews and advice. The statistics on pedestrian safety are grim. The NHTSA traffic safety facts show that nationwide in 2015, 5,376 people were killed. That is 15 people a day for a year. This represents the worst pedestrian fatality since 1996. As well, since 2006, there's been an increase in pedestrian injuries of 15%. Now, real close to home, according to the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce, visitors, we have an average of 14 million visitors per year. So without a heightened safety campaign, the odds of fewer pedestrian injuries and fatalities are not in our favor. A statistic from 2014 states that 70% of pedestrian deaths were male and 34% had a blood alcohol content over the legal limit. That sounds like Beach Week to me. There is light at the end of the tunnel in 2040. South Carolina does have a plan. It's the multimodal transportation plan, with goal 9 being to make walking and street crossings safer. It's going to be implemented over the next 22 years. While we're waiting, don't hesitate to contact your local county representative about the current problem areas where you live and ask what's being done to improve pedestrian safety. So remember, the most important rule when you're out in the dark, early or late, is to be seen. So for safety's sake, please illuminate. Thank you.